What's up, good peoples? Welcome to our Monday. So normally we are doing Manhood Mondays, um, but that's not what we're doing tonight. Tonight, I have something special for you. Going to be joined by my daughter as we're going to talk about Dr. Martin Luther King. This is my first time talking to my daughter in this way, and so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really fun. But let me give you an update first of all on some other things that's going on. So I'm going to change Manhood Mondays because the because the women want and need something to do too, right? So I don't have a new name for it, but it's going to start back being for everybody. Still relational stuff on Mondays, but we're going to talk about that, okay? So today is Martin Luther King Day. I just found out actually that Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday is actually the 17th. I thought it was the 15th, and we just celebrated it on that Monday. But I'm asked my daughter, because I actually didn't ask her. I had asked my wife, but I'm asked my daughter. I'm sure she has the real facts. And let me just tell you about my daughter real quick. So her name is Whitney. She's a young lady in her own right. And now when you see her, if there's any fellas on here, my daughter's gorgeous, right? She get it from her daddy. Maybe a little bit from mine, but mostly from my dad. But no, seriously. I'm really proud of her. She knows her history. She didn't get it from me. We're going to find out where she got it from today. Okay? So let me see if she is ready, because I'm ready to get to it. Let's see. Now, this is my first time doing this, so y'all bear with me. Let's see. Hey, can we hear you? Let's see.
Hello.
There you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you. Welcome to
Awesome.
my video podcast. Um, I'm glad that you're here. So, this is Whitney Brantley, the Dopest Historian. And I thought about this yesterday. I wanted to do this with you because I normally do a video for the men every other Monday, and this was that Monday. But as I was thinking about Dr. Martin Luther King's day, and what I really was thinking about how many people don't know about, first of all, some of the things he did and stood for. We know the I Have a Dream speech, and we know, the march, but it's a lot of things we don't know about Dr. King, but also just Black history in general. A lot of times people think that, we got Martin Luther King and Dr. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, and that's pretty much it. So I want to talk about that. But so what I want to start? Well, let's start with you introduce yourself. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Whitney. I go by the Dopest Historian. My platform or my brand is named Dope It's History. I started this brand in 2020 while attending Prairie View A&M University. When COVID came in, I realized that I may not be able to continue my college path as I wanted to finish getting my history degree. But history was my passion. And so I decided to do my own project, and I received great feedback. And I've been on the road since. So this is going on my second year now with the Dopest History. And this year is going to be amazing, you all. I also work at the Houston Museum of African American Culture. So if you're in Houston, right now we are closed, but if you're able to make it down into the museum district, go ahead and come check out your girl, okay? Had to put that a little in there. That is part of me being the Dopest Historian. I now work at the Houston Museum of African American Culture.
And that's like one of the coolest things. I remember when you told me that, I was like, wow,
Yes.
that's pretty impressive. But I'm curious. So, how did you come up with the name, the Dopest Historian?
Wow. So I with me being a Leo, right? I just automatically, me being a Leo and me being in class, I realized that, I'm in a class full of history majors, but there was something about the way that I was into history, the way that I would just interact with the teachers, inside and outside of class, and the way that I would go towards my goals with my assignments and things. I
Mm-hmm.
realized before I even thought of dope its history, like I'm a historian. I'm not your like average historian. I'm looking for something specific when I look into all history, not just Black history. And the dope kind of it was off a play of my name was already on social media, Dope It's Wit. And that's a whole story. I'm basically a twin with a celebrity named Dom Kennedy. We have the same birthday, and his name on Instagram is Dopest Dom. I became Dope It's Wit.
Hmm.
And then I was like, well, shoot, I'm the dopest historian. It kind of puts me out of the box of just being a historian. I'm the dopest one, so
Ah,
expect something a
okay.
little different.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm old, right? So the whole dope thing, I tried to catch on to that, and I was showing you early, but let me show everyone else. So I have this sign that I made, guys. I made this sign, and
Whoop,
I don't know if
whoop.
it'll focus for you guys. So I made this sign, and I made it thinking about my daughter. I'm like, well, I'm a dope black therapist, and so
Yes.
I like that dope historian. So I gotta look at my question. So um, you kind of you kind of answered this question already a little bit, but um, I've always wanted to know, since you've been into history, how did you get into history? Because I like history, but I'm not into history the way you are, especially Black history. Like, you're really really into it. Like, I like learning about it and reading about it. Like, one of the most fascinating things to me, honestly, this might everyone else may be like, really, but to me, when I read, because in school I didn't read, right? So this was in college and later when I read how the United States was formed. So I'm reading, migrating over here, and it it was like they started a small business, like the meetings they had, the things they put in place, and I'm like, wow. And then I think, from those little meetings, y'all started a business slash country, and now, like we have a legal system. It was just crazy to me. I'm like, wow. So I'm impressed by that kind of stuff. But I don't even ask the question. How did you get so into history?
I was always into when I once I became serious about Black history, I was like, I know people are going to ask me, how did I get here? Let me figure it out. And I realized that in school, history was probably one of my favorite subjects. I didn't like school, like in general, but history was one of those classes where, I didn't mind. You always learn something new. Even if you're learning about the same subject in that week, there's always something new added to the context that gives you a broader thought on, the situation that's going on. And then also, what I also came to realize is that growing up, my parents, you and my mom, put me in a lot of like Black empowerment type environments. One, the church that I grew up in is actually broke off from a historical church, the Antioch Baptist Church in Houston. I went
Mm-hmm.
to Joy. So that in itself was historical. And then just going there, they started at elementary. It was called Benjamin Banneker McNair. That's a Black history
Mm-hmm.
person. And I was there for my third grade year. And then also, like I said, with the church, there were different programs and things. They were just always all about Black history. So I would say just my love in school, I like the stories. I have to be here. Why not get into it? And then also just like kind of some of my outside environment. Yeah, and then I've also had my own personal experiences. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your own personal experiences
Mm-hmm.
to really feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely had my own personal experiences with the others or whatever you may wanna. But yeah, I mean, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about Dr. Martin Luther King for a little bit, since this is his day.
Whoop, whoop.
First, now this may be a. Let me just ask the question. Um, what are your thoughts about Dr. King's birthday being a national holiday? Because it wasn't always that way. What are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so first of all, you guys, with me being the dopest historian, I also wanted to address that when you spoke on it earlier. So today is MLK Day. Woo woo! Let's celebrate! Let's celebrate! But Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday was on Saturday, and so you got it right earlier, but you kind of said it wrong. Like you knew that his birthday was Friday, but you thought it was the 17th, but today is the 17th, which you make his birthday the 15th. So yeah, today, so MLK Day is not for his birthday. It actually was founded by his wife. I mean, excuse me, it was actually started by his wife, Coretta Scott King, about 2 years after his death. She started this foundation, and pretty much they started this holiday to commemorate MLK and his dream and his journey and the things that he did to get to where they were at the time.
So that's interesting. Now, I don't want to go too far down this path, but you just said something that I did not know. And me being a marriage and family therapist, right? So I'm always paying attention to the parts that's relative to family.
Mm-hmm.
So I do know, Dr. King was a human being. And, some of I call them haters, even black, white, green, whatever. And maybe they're not haters, that's just what I call them. But they want to bring up,
Right.
his imperfectness and, rumor that he, had an affair and whatever he did, right? Okay, fine. But when it's brought up to tarnish his image. But it's interesting to me that whatever they dealt with in their marriage, she still loved him enough and honored him enough to, after he's gone, it's not like, well, man, I'm glad he did. That was a terrible marriage. I ain't fooling with him no more. No, she created a whole holiday. That's impressive to me.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. Huh? I did
And
not know
just a
that.
tidbit, I'm gonna add a little tidbit on that as well.
Hmm.
You guys do your own research. Also, as I'm talking about Black history, that is one of my main like messages. Do your own history. I mean, do your own research, because that's the message of Dopest History. But one of the things that we do historians talk about is how the CIA, FBI did blackmail him, and made up certain types of things and certain rumors to put him out of the good light with Black Americans and other people. So some things are just not true. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just be mindful of that when you do hear these things that some people will try to discredit Martin Luther King for.
Awesome. So, so tell me, what are some of the things when you think about Dr. King's legacy? What are some of the things that stand out to you?
Some of the things that stand out to me, honestly, is just his determination. And he was very clear, eloquent, you know what I'm saying? Like over the past couple of days, I've taken out the time to listen to some of his speeches. I encourage you all to do the same. I'm not going to say that it's easy. You do have to carve out some time in your day, put on your earphones, some headphones, read and listen at the same time. It's very imperative that you listen to his voice so you can understand, just how punctual he was with his words. He let us know the real, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm about. Dopest history. I love knowing the real. He made it his mission to get the normal person to understand what was going on the federal level. He didn't want to leave anybody behind, and I honored that for him. I really love just his professionalism, his determination, and his I want to say grind, but yeah, like it's weird to say grind for Martin Luther King, but yeah, it was a grind. Like at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
his grind for the movement, like that's just what it
Mm-hmm.
was. It was a
Mm-hmm.
grind, a
Mm-hmm.
serious grind, a grind that nobody. I mean, y'all can say what y'all want, but ain't nobody grinding like my MLK. Y'all not grinding like him. Y'all not grinding like him.
That's true. That's true. One of the things that and it's the small things for me. You sent over some pictures of MLK, and as I'm looking at them, it's crazy how I've been pretty much. I will admit I've been pretty much confined to the pictures of him that society has put out, right? And it's all
Yes.
him at the march and different things, and pretty much all of them black and white. But the pictures you sent, and I put some of them in the thumbnail, he seemed like, this is gonna sound crazy, but he seemed like a real regular person, like family man. Like when I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh, like he wasn't this magical man. He's regular, and I think I can't be the only one that gets that image of Dr. King when you just think about him, but then when you realize, hey, he's a regular brother, right? That was impressive to me. But that leads me to this question about something that Dr. King said. So in one of his speeches, he said, I can't remember the year, he said, but in such and such time, the Negro is still not free. What are your thoughts about that? And how relevant is that for 2022?
Okay. Just I'm gonna. I don't mean to keep doing this, but because I am a historian, I just want to tell you there's a little history to why you late as the past couple 2 to 3 years, we're starting to see more photos of MLK in color.
Hmm.
What we found out is that before then we would see these black and white photos so that it would kind of play a trick on our mind so it would seem it happened long ago than what it really did. Once you see those pictures and photos, you're like,
That is right.
my
You're right. That's
grandma
what
and
happened.
them
Yeah.
was probably there. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
It puts it into a whole different perspective when you just use black and white versus when you put it in color. So that's that tidbit. And Martin Luther King being very clear up until his death that the Negro, the black person, is not free. We're just not. And what does that look like? And what does that mean for us in 2022? So, one thing that I know for sure is Bernice King, that's his daughter. Today, she's celebrating her Father's Day by, requesting that Congress do something on this voter registration deal. That's something that Martin Luther King literally marched for. He put his whole life on the line for it. And so his daughter is now following up with that same fight. To me, if nothing else, like, how are we in 2022 still?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. We still have voter rights issues in 2022.
Yes, yes, and
Wow.
it's not something that just came up. It's been a thing since before Martin Luther King died. Every year, all during, before, during, and after. It's like how I
Hmm.
like to say it when it comes to history: before, during, and after. That's just a little bit to keep it connected to how we're in 2020, we're in 2022, and we every year we bring out the "I Have a Dream" speech, but where is the, we can't get the bare minimum, we can't get the basics still.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Well,
asking for
now
the basics.
the thing is, though, your fellow, and I don't mean to point fingers at anybody, right? I'm speaking in general, but your fellow white person may say, how's the Negro not free? You guys got cars and houses. I live over here in Siena in this nice neighborhood. We can go to college. Segregation is over. How are we not free?
Well, we're not free because of the systems that we still have in place. You may be able to live in Siena, but you're just one of the, it would be seen as one of the few people who are able to navigate the systems. We are not fighting things on an individual level. We're not saying, we're not, I mean, some people are, right? Some people are Joe Biden, da da da, whatever, whatever, whatever. But no,
Mm-hmm.
it's the system that we need to dismantle. The
Mm-hmm.
pup When we're sending the school to prison pipeline, that's not just at one school. Like, that's not just, oh, Dulles Elementary, and then if you go to Dulles Elementary, there's a possibility going. No, that's across the U.S. That's a
Mm-hmm.
system that's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
until we dismantle these systems that black people, and that's what I'm saying, we have systems that black people tend to not benefit from, and then some, the systems tend to also benefit white people or others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So until we get clear on the, we actually, we're clear on the systems. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that for the most part, we're clear on what these systems are, what needs to be changed, adjusted, dismantled, altogether. But it's just a matter of, people doing it and really coming together and making this plan. And you know it's been over 100 years, y'all. I really don't know.
So when people say, or when we say, we're still not free, we're not talking about slavery. We're not
Yeah,
talking about we can't vote. We're not talking about we can't live in a certain place. But you're talking about systemic racism and all of these things that are still in place, that was put in place a long time ago, and new people come on the scene and they don't see a problem with it. They don't
at
change
all.
it. Hmm.
We
Interesting.
deal with it every day. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's at, and that's the thing. It's at different levels. I maybe, and I'm considered in the quote unquote ghetto of Cyprus, right? I'm on the low end of Cyprus, but
Mm-hmm.
you're in Siena. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you're gonna experience different levels of infringing on you. You're gonna, I mean, you are gonna experience different levels of infringement on your freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Same, it may be within the same system, it just a look a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I live in the poor area, we know that, or lesser income areas, however you like to look at it, you know that they have poor air quality. You know, there's less food grocery stores around. They're often called food deserts, and think that's
Mm.
systemic. That's systemic. Versus in Siena, your free, your I don't feel free may look like, well, I'm one of the only few black people in this white neighborhood, and so I get stopped a lot, like, and that's not normal for me. But I mean, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
become my normal now that I'm living in this white neighborhood. It just shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. Let me go back to my questions. I want to make sure I cover these. Um, oh, so this is kind of similar to the question I asked earlier, but I'm gonna put a twist on it because I just thought
Okay.
of the most fascinating piece of Black history that I learned, and we talked about it. It may have been last year, but so I said, most people think that Black history is about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King only. Uh, what would you say to those people? But before you answer, let me tell about the most fascinating thing that I learned from my daughter. So when I was in school, I went to a black school. I went to a black elementary school and black, not middle school, but black high school. I remember learning about Eli Whitney inventing the cotton gin. Because slaves, they used to pick cotton, and so Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin, so to pick the seeds out, or whatever. Um, I was I was taught that Eli Whitney was black, but you told me that he was white, and when I looked it up, he was white, and I was like, "What? Talk about that."
You know, it's interesting because when I think on it too, I believe I used to think that Eli Whitney was white, and I thought that the production of the cotton gin was a good thing for the enslaved, and both of them are untrue. Um, I'm not sure why we're taught that. I mean, I do. So the cotton gin was an industrial type thing, yes, for the country. So I guess that's why they wanted us to learn about the creation for the cotton gin. But then when you're teaching that to a room of black students, it's like, yeah, the cotton gin was invented so you can be in the fields a little bit longer, a little bit more. You now have to do more
Mm,
work because the cotton gin can work a little faster. So now you need to bring in more.
uh,
Like,
right.
no, that's not cool. Like, let's be. Can we talk about that? Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the
So,
cotton gin was
oh,
not a
go ahead.
good invention for the black people. That's all I had to say.
Okay. So now, like I said, today's Martin Luther King Day, but next month is Black History Month,
Yep.
and at schools, especially white schools, and the larger, wider world, gonna be putting up Dr. King again, and Rosa Parks, maybe a little Malcolm X, a few more people, popular people. Um, what's the Moses who freed the slaves?
Yes, Harriet Tubman.
Yeah. Um, but give me a few people who had a significant impact on Black history or our history, because Black history is American history. I hope y'all know that, right? Like, Black history is American history.
There
But give
is
me some.
no separating American history without black history. But
Exactly. So tell me about give me a little bit about some things that we may not know that's a part of Black history. Some people who's not always in the mainstream.
ooh, some people who's not always in the mainstream. I'm gonna give y'all myths here, and then I'm gonna go. Y'all really probably don't know these people. So some of the people that's not in the mainstream, but they kind of sometimes in the mainstream. One of my favorites is Marcus Garvey,
Mm.
Jamaican born, came to the U.S. You know what I'm saying? The birth of Pan Africanism, pretty much, and that was about 100 years ago in the 1920 era. Around that time, we got Nat Turner. He's kind of known, but not he's spoken about here and there, really. We have who do we have? Who do y'all want to talk about? I wish we had some comments so y'all can ask me some questions. But okay, let's go low ends. Low end that you probably don't know. There's a gentleman named David Walker. He's the truth. If you do not know David Walker, go read. It's a very small pamphlet called "The Appeal." Go read The Appeal by David Walker. And then if I name David Walker, I have to name Mariah Stewart. They actually come together around the same time. This is the 1830s that I'm talking about, you guys. But then outside of that, the person that started or founded Black History Month is and as soon as I was like, please do not lose his name, as you said. But and nonetheless, he founded the Association of African American History, and so they're still going today. Asala, ASALH. If I could think of the name before we get off, I would tell y'all. Now I'm so upset because like I say his name all the time. Like, but yeah, Fannie Lou
She is
Hamer.
her daughter's. She is her dad's child, because y'all know I forget my thoughts all the time.
Right. Fannie Lou Hamer. Let me think of some more women. We got Fannie Lou Hamer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like to bring up Claudette Colvin because she was the original. She was the person who was supposed to be Rosa Parks, but she just didn't necessarily have the right background to get the mission done per se. So they chose Rosa Parks to do it. But yeah, I mean that's some people I could throw out there. I love when we get into our art. You gotta give your artists some love. We got Langston Hughes, Duke Ellington, writers
Mm-hmm.
Toni Morrison. We got your Black Panthers, Angela Davis, Fred Hampton. These are the people you must know. Get into Kwame Ture. That was just Stokely Carmichael. We don't call him Stokely Carmichael. It's Kwame Ture. Do your own research. These names that I said, rewind it. Go ahead, make a list and write some notes on what you think about them. What did you read about them? What's some books or some interesting articles that you read about them? Just take some time out your day. If nothing else, do it for Black History Month.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff, man. So I heard you mention something that I'm unfamiliar with. I've heard it mentioned before, but I never researched it, gotten into it or whatever. Tell me, what is Pan Africanism?
Pan Africanism. So, um, this is Pan Africanism. Okay, you see these earrings? Hold on, can y'all see these earrings? This, like, if I was to put Pan Africanism, I guess in an earring or a picture or whatever, it would be this. So pretty much Pan Africanism is like the thought that we are all one of the African diaspora. I am not just, because as a Pan Africanist, I am not just concerned about Black Americans. I'm concerned about Afro Caribbeans. I'm so concerned about those that are in England, Afro England people, or just in Europe, or those in Asia. Wherever my people are, I am concerned about them, and I want them to live a better life than what they're being treated in, because it's known across the world. Don't matter where you go on the globe, Black people are treated less than. And so as a Pan-Africanist, I recognize that, and I see all Black people as my brothers and my sisters.
Okay, that's helpful. I can understand
Yeah.
that. Okay. Um, did I have any more questions? I think that was my
And I see
last
everything
question.
black, 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 black. So I want everything black. I want see Marcus Garvey. He had his own. He was doing his own shit. Steam line. He had a doll line. He had a newspaper. Pan Africanism is just it's a black nation in a sense, but not really, because that's the argument that's going on right now within the Twitter history worlds and things of that sort. But when you think about Pan Africanism, you're just thinking like I'm in Africa with it. Okay, then.
Okay. So, for those who are unaware, does pro-black mean anti-white?
No, it does not. But you could, I mean, somebody could be operating on that wavelength, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't automatically equate pro-black equates anti-white. No.
Okay. So just because I love my people doesn't mean I don't like you. I just love my people. And if this is not accurate, let me know. If there's a choice, a equal choice, everything equal on both sides for me to choose, then I'm gonna choose my people. If I have to choose one or the other. But outside of
Yep.
that, there's no I don't like you because I like me, right?
Right.
Cool. That's
Right.
important for people to know. I had another question similar to that. I'm trying to think what it was real quick. Um, Shoot, it was about. I can't remember. I didn't write it down, so it left me. But anyway,
Carter
th-
G. Woodson. Boom. Got it.
that's
Carter G. Woodson. I was
that's
gonna be
inventor of Black
so
History Month.
upset. I was gonna be so upset, you guys, if I did not remember that. And I don't even, man, I still think I'm wrong. Y'all, I'm so upset. But nonetheless, Carter G. Woodson is another Black history person to look into. I did some research on him coming in before I got into Dopest History, the brand. So yeah, but all right, y'all just had to, I don't know. He came on my mind. He wanted me to say his name. He said, don't forget about me. Research me too. So if you don't do nothing else, research Carter G. Woodson.
Awesome. All right. Well, any last thoughts or anything that you want to share before we end?
Follow me. Follow me on Instagram, you all, if you're interested in staying in touch with the dopest Black history. So I'm actually just starting a personal page, the Dopest Historian. So if you want to get more of the behind the scenes or more so of my face and me doing stuff at the museum, follow at the Dopest Historian. So Dopest historian on Instagram. And then if you're just interested in the dopest Black history and you literally just want to see history and that's it, that's all, not my face, you can go to dope dot a period it's history on Instagram as well. Thank you in advance for the followers. Like I said, 2022, we are doing it real big. I'm still in my beginning stages, you guys, so thank you all for coming on my dad's live to say hey on MLK Day. I hope you all have a great rest of the Martin Luther King day. And then also stay, if you follow me on Dopest History, when it comes for Black History Month, just know we turning up. And y'all better turn up even if y'all don't follow me. We turning up a Black History Month for the rest of our lives.
And just so in case you guys missed it, I want to make sure you get it. She said dope, DOPE dot ITS history. Dope
Yes.
dot its history.
Dope
ITS
it's
history.
history.
Yes. That's her
And then come
page.
visit me at the museum once we're open.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining me and for doing this. We got to do it again. We're definitely gonna do it again in February
February.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it in February. Um, and I don't even know, we're gonna do it a couple of times because we
Yeah.
turning up for Black History, right?
Yes,
So,
yes. And then also, I was gonna say we probably most likely gonna do June too because after last year, everybody is gonna have their Juneteenth programming
oh
and
yeah.
scheduling set up. They is not about to play with y'all this Juneteenth, but best believe the dopest historian not playing with y'all either.
Wait, so
Okay.
before we go, I actually want to talk just a small few minutes about that because
Measure.
yeah, I've told you before, like I
Mhm.
love my people. I love being around my people. I love hanging with my people. I love living around my people. I just happen to live way out here, but um, I'm very much pro-black. I'm not
Right.
anti-white, right? I'm pro-black, but I know my role. I'm the brother that's gonna fund the movement. I'm not getting on the front lines to march, and I'm okay with that, right? But it bothered me last year when Juneteenth was recognized everywhere because it became very commercial. I did not like that. You know, I want people to know about it, but it, I don't think that was really not celebrating like folk was celebrating, not us, but them. Well, I shouldn't say them,
Yeah.
but other
Yeah.
the majority culture. So yeah, talk about that a little bit. And the commercialization of the things that we try to hold dear to us.
Yeah, we definitely have to watch out for that because there's an agenda with it, right? You'll start to notice this year, but as the years continue to go on, the narrative kind of starts to switch and change a little bit to make it more digestible for America, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Dr. Martin Luther King, right? They've taken away, a lot of the great things that we we champion Malcolm X. A lot of Black people champion Malcolm X more than Martin Luther King, when they don't realize that Martin Luther King was pretty much right there with Malcolm X in regards to talking to Black people and trying to get them to understand, like, hey, this is what's going on. We should demand more. This is not okay. Like, yeah, but we don't really know that. We just, all we know is all that it's been taken down to is nonviolence, love your neighbor, everybody deserves equality. Like, yeah, but it was a little bit more than that. So when we get into Juneteenth, be careful. Watch the narrative, okay? The narratives you could hear, because the main thing is just to be mindful that this is a relative to a specific area in the United States of America,
Mm-hmm.
specifically like Texas, but then also some other southern states as well. And yeah, just know that the whole reason that Juneteenth was to come to be was because the Confederates refused to take their L. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they just refused to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, now we got a whole holiday that the Americas have to, face forward. And it's up to, dope historians like me to make sure it stays clear. Like,
Right.
yeah, don't let them
Because we've
whitewash
done
our
that.
history, y'all.
We really have done that with Dr. King's birthday. Like we've commercialized it, and like you said, we always put on the "I Have a Dream" speech. People don't realize, and I learned this from Dr. Michael P. Williams. Uh, the reason that Dr. King was assassinated by the government is because he made the connection between, I think he said, racism here and racism abroad, and he started tapping into the money. Something, I think that's when he was with the garbage workers or something. Something financial started happening.
Poor People's Campaign. Google it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we got to kill him. And when you listen to those speeches, they're not as friendly as "I have a dream," but it's real.
Beyond Vietnam, Time to Break a Silence is the audio and text that you want to listen to by Dr. Martin Luther King. And then I had just said something else while you was talking, but I can't remember. But yeah, no, I Have a Dream is like, yeah, he did, but it was so much more. Oh, we were talking about the Poor People's Campaign. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
baby, you tap into these people pockets. Oh, you got to go. And that's history. I think one of the questions was actually supposed to be, why is history important? Because you'll repeat it. Like, that's, if nothing
Yes.
else,
Why is history important? That's yes.
we history is important because of nothing else. I mean, you hear people say it all the time. History repeats itself. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
We're Are y'all awake today?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know, if you know anything on history, you can pick out about 2-3 things that's going on today that has already kind of been played out and done. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this
Mm-hmm.
government, they little wonky selves and all these other things. But getting back on track with MLK and his Poor People's Campaign, it's about their money.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Panther Party didn't become an issue until they started finding ways, started doing for the Black community, tapping into the government's money. The
Mm-hmm.
government needs the black community to depend on them. If you're trying to take away that dependence, oh baby, you got to go. Y'all can march all y'all want to, but oh, y'all got the money now to move and groove and do better. That's why to this day they are still trying to like keep us in an economic, like, go
Mm-hmm.
down. Like, y'all are like, what
Mm-hmm.
it is, they don't like it. They don't want us in the economic game, baby, because we gonna turn it up. We turn it up
But
every
wait, we
time.
got LeBron James. We got all these black actors. We got Denzel. Black people got money.
No, 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 no. We're talking about your regular smugglers who are not puppeteers for the media and all of those things. They're not connected to everything else. They won't let another Fred Hampton come up. They won't let another Malcolm X. They won't let another Martin Luther King. Let me get some money and think I'm still about to be talking the way I'm talking. Oh,
Internet shaky. Cars parked outside your house. Yeah,
what? What?
trust me, I
But
understand.
but no, that's why I know what you have to know what you're getting to and getting into going into this.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been as well to me. It hasn't been as severe and crucial as it was in the 1960s and stuff like that. But just to know that they knew that they were literally right there. They were still they were just coming out of the times of lynchings, but still Emmett Till had just got lynched. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mm-hmm.
you know that, like, yeah, I'm could be waking up out of my sleep today and be dead in the next couple of hours, but I have to tell my people this. I need the people who don't know me, don't care about me, ain't thinking about me, to live a better life.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy, crazy,
Mm-hmm.
crazy, crazy. Like, mind blowing, honestly. And we haven't had anybody to step up and do that again. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. The government really knows how to get them on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's real on you. They get them gone before they even get up to the podium. At this point, they don't allow Martin Luther King to even become. You can't become no more. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they learned their lesson on that. That's why Fred Hampton was killed at the age of 21.
Wow. I know he's that young.
Yeah,
Wow.
young, with his pregnant girlfriend. And I actually follow his son on Instagram. Y'all can follow Fred Hampton's son, y'all, and he is just like him. He sound like him. He built stature like him. It's really awesome. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
y'all tap into the dopest Black history, because our ancestors, those that came before us, really, really, really wanted the best for us. They wanted better for us. And so how can we not want that for ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did
Right.
all that for us. I'm not saying, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you gotta go on the front lines, and I'm not saying you gotta go dig in your pockets and get some money. What I am saying, and what I am asking for you to do, is just to do the bare minimum and do your own research. Take a name, take an idea, take a speech, take something, and just look into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just look into it.
All right, y'all.
I'm
That
done
is the
ranting.
dopest historian. And she is my daughter, I am proud to say. Thank you for joining me so much. I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, we're gonna do this again sometime in February and again in June, like you say.
Yes,
And June is
yes.
Black History Month too, because another amazing man was born. That's me,
Here
turning
you
50
go.
this year. So,
Juneteenth, your birthday, and technically I'm celebrating Houston History Month. So we
okay,
got some dope stuff coming in June.
yeah, y'all follow her. Okay, don't
Dope
forget.
is history.
Yeah, follow
And
her.
then,
All right, Miss Whitney. Thank
all
you,
right, you
and I will
all.
catch up with you next time.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Everyone else, stay on for about 5 minutes. I want to share something with you about Martin Luther King's legacy and manhood. I got to give you something. All right, bye, Whitney.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, y'all, listen. So here's the last thing. I'm going to close out with this. As we think about Dr. King's birthday and his legacy, that word legacy, I want to leave this with you. Regardless of what you do, regardless of what race you are, right? This is for everybody. But especially the men, especially the men. Here's what I want to encourage you to do. Live your life in a way that the legacy you live, your family will be proud of it, and your family can point to you and say, my daddy was this. You know? At the beginning of my book, I talk about leaving a legacy of healthy marriages. If you're married, make it your business to be great at it. If you're a business owner, make it your business to be great at it, right? Make it your business to not be mediocre. Don't leave, because watch this. You're going to leave a legacy without question. It's just a matter of what is it going to be? Is it going to be a legacy of mediocrity? Is it going to be a legacy of being broke, right? When I was growing up, we didn't learn about money. I'm learning about money now and the black dollar and how to obtain wealth and how to invest. Teach yourself those things, right? The things that I'm learning, these are not new systems. I'm just new to the system. And so I want to encourage you to be about the business of becoming your best self, healing whatever's inside of you that you need to heal. As a matter of fact, my next talk, I got something really good for you. I'm going to be talking about the difference between healing and maturing. It's really, really good. And this is coming from my experience, some things that I have had to deal with and am dealing with, and also just some things that I know that I want to help you with. All right. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me on this Martin Luther King Day. I hope that this was helpful, entertaining, insightful, whatever. Okay. You guys take care, and I will see you next time.